In this video, we're going to concentrate on a time value of money concept, the present value of an annuity. An annuity, if you remember, is an equal cash flow for a certain period of time. So let's get right into an example. Let's assume you can invest at 12% for 20 years, and you're going to receive $3,000 a year for 20 years. So you're going to receive $3,000 a year for 20 years. If you had a choice, would you want to receive that in one lump sum today, or would you be willing to keep the $3,000 a year? So $3,000 a year, you see down here, the present value is around $22,000. So let's think about this. 3,000 times 20, right, is $60,000. If you received $22,408 today, invested it at 12%, you could withdraw $3,000 a year for the next 20 years. So let's think about a retirement question, right? Or a lottery question. So let's say you win the lottery, and the lottery is for $100 million. The state says, look, we'll give you this money in equal amounts over 20 years. So you would get $5 million a year, right? 20 times 5 million is 100 million. So you're going to receive $5 million. Did I get enough zeros in there? Oh, one too many zeros. So you're going to receive $5 million a year for 20 years. And the state says, look, we can invest our money at 3%. So if the state invests their money at 3%, and you're going to get $5 million a year, right? It's $100 million. They would have to pay $74 million in order to get you $5 million a year. That's a little bit complicated, I guess. But how much would they have to pay today? See, what happens is they're not going to just from the account pay this out. They're going to go out and buy a treasury bond. Treasury bonds, right now it's a little bit high. 3% is what a 30-year T-bond is. So they're going to pay, they're going to buy a T-bond that's going to mature and be able to pay you $5 million a year. They would have to pay $74 million to do that. Now, as an option, if you ever seen these lottery things, they tell you, look, you can either take the $5 million a year for 20 years, or you could take a lump sum. The lump sum is typically what it would cost them to invest in the treasury bond. So you could get $5 million a year for 20 years. That's $100 million. Or they would just give you $74 million. Well, what could you do with $74 million? Let's see how this might work. So if you invested 74,387,374, let's say you could earn 8% on your money. How much could you get a year? You could get $7.5 million. Well, they're going to give you $5 million a year. If you could just earn 8%, you could get $7.5 million. If you could really, again, if you had $74 million, I think you'd find a pretty good investment person. Let's say they could get you 10%, just 2% more. Now you're up to $8.7 million. So you could take their $5 million for sure, or you could invest the amount that they give you, the lump sum, at your rate of return, which is always going to be higher than what the government can get. You'd always be better off. Now, of course, this doesn't include taxes, But again, you're going to pay taxes one way or another. Now, this also is a kind of a loan question, right? You can solve for this, solving for this payment as a loan. So again, we will talk about this later in another video when we talk about loan analysis. And I hope you like this video. We can also do growing annuities. You can do the growth thing here, etc. So there's lots of things, different investment questions when we talk about the time value of money. See you soon.